What's up, guys? It's Jordan from Fighting for My Voice. I hope everyone's having a great day. In this video, we're going to be talking about emotions and apraxia. And you might be watching this video and be like, Jordan, apraxia is a neurological speech disorder. And yes, I have it. I know that. But also it can affect emotions. And these emotions can look different and they can display different. And how can people and loved ones with people with apraxia speech be able to better understand them? So let's get right into the video. Also, just as a side note, when my mouth does that, it is my apraxia, but I find that it's really important that I don't cut out my apraxia because I'm working on radically accepting every single speech error I have because it's very important for me to be a really good role model, not only for people with apraxia, but people who watch me on how to self-accept yourself each and every day. But one, what are the different emotions that people with apraxia can experience? Oh my gosh, there's so many, because there's so many different types of human emotions, and each person is different, and how we feel emotions is different. I was a psychology major, so I could talk about this all day long, but the different experiences that I've definitely dealt with is anxiety, frustration, feelings of isolation, feelings of just pressure, of societal pressure. I don't know if that would actually be an emotion now since I think about it, but pressure, that wanting to say what you want to say, but not being able to. And as you might have saw at the beginning of this video, not being able to move my tongue, lips, and jaw at times can be incredibly my mind can go blank because it gets so overwhelmed. And in those moments, I really have to work on how can I ground myself within this moment. I have to go back into the present moment because my brain will go up here because my brain's up here. So I'm like, la-di-da-di-di-di. And I'm like, no, I'm in this moment. I'm talking to you guys and I want to be present. So how we can see this represent itself in people with apraxia are really two different ways when they're not able to communicate their feelings, because many people with apraxia, when they are young, they're unable to say what they want to say. They are unable to perform at the conversational level many of times. So we might see two different things happen with people with apraxia when they are unable to communicate their feelings. So one, we might see them emotionally shut down, or two, we might see the behavior and it might represent itself in an outburst, as I would call it. They might appear angry. And for this reason, it's many of the times people can mistake apraxia actually as some sort of behavioral issue, when it's not a behavioral issue within itself. Now, comorbidities can occur. So I don't want to say apraxia only occurs by itself, because that is farthest from the truth, and I would not be serving apraxia justice if you were asking me if I said that. But there's a root to the behavior, and the root is not being able to say what you want to say, and the different emotions that manifest from that, and it can have a toll on the person. So how can we help these people? I think I've skipped to part 3 now, but we're just going to go ahead and we're going to dive right in. How can we help people with apraxia? We need to help them communicate their feelings. However, we can have a norm within our society that the only acceptable form of communication is speech. I challenge that misconception, and I will challenge it till the day I die, because there is nothing wrong with using AAC. There's nothing wrong with using ASL, and we all use AAC in some type of way. Do you text? It's 2023. Do you text? If you text, you use AAC, because verbal speech is not the only way that we're able to communicate. There's different ways. Some people might use AAC in the form of tablets. People might use AAC in the forms of picture cards. But being able to express our feelings and to have our feelings heard, but also for children to have your feelings validated, is a very crucial component. is a very crucial component, that we do not dismiss children's feelings and tell them, you're making a big deal out of nothing, blah, 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 because those feelings are real to them. Even if they're not real to you, that is your experience, but it is not their experience. We must validate that experience, and we must ride through that experience with them. We have to help them cope with their emotions. Now, there's different ways that humans cope with their emotions. There's healthy ways, and then there's unhealthy ways. But I'm going to talk about the healthy ways on Fighting for My Voice, okay? So some healthy ways for me to cope with my own personal emotions are sensory toys. I love sensory toys. I have sensory toys everywhere. My favorite thing are these things called monkey noodles, and I'm so excited because we had to show these on camera. Okay. But like, these are like... Well, they were my favorite thing, but I really like these. So personally, I really like monkey noodles, but there might be people who don't like them because they break, apparently just as I witnessed. But some other things that you can definitely do is that you can use things like poppets. You can use other types of sensory items. What I really like to encourage also is finding something that is self-soothing to you. So for me, that's music. I love music. I like to listen to music. I made my mom listen to Taylor Swift in the car since I was 5 years old. No, actually I was 8, because her first song came out when I was 8. So when I was 8 years old, Taylor Swift in her Yeehaw days, she was playing all the time. But that music just brought that level of comfort to me. And there's different things that bring comfort to other people. That might be taste, that might be a certain beverage, that might be music. There's all sorts of things. For children who are really artistic, it can be drawing. We should have these different outlets set in place, because we all cope in our everyday to-day life, but we all cope differently because we're all different in some way, shape, or form. So our coping experiences are going to look different, but we want to be sure for your children that they learn effective coping mechanisms, so their automatic result is not to shut down or to have a quote-unquote outburst, because that's not either of what we want. It's what we want is that we want them to be able to, one day, we want them to be able to validate their emotions. We want them to be able to use their coping skills and to write that emotion out, because emotions come and go. Emotions are not they're not a permanent state. We all go through different emotions every day, but it's about how we handle them. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. The psychology major in me is just singing right now, and I hope that you will click that subscribe button down below. And if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And I love talking to you guys. And as always, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.